and they're like sitting there screaming, saying, just give me all the food, give me everything. And your body's like, oh crap, well, I can't put it in the muscle and function cells, I'm just gonna have to put it back in fat cells. Hey, welcome to Fitness Freedom Athletes, helping you build muscle, shed fat, and transform your body from home with a suspension trainer, resistance band, body weight, and nutrition optimization to gain fitness freedom. I hope you're doing well, guys. This week, we have got questions from members, and they are regarding how to stay motivated to work out at home, nutrition framework for lean and high energy body, and chest press technique, the TRX chest press, which is a great question. It's probably one of the most sort of asked questions that I ever get. How can I do the chest press better? Because I can't feel it in my chest. And we've also got food or shake before a workout. So let's start with how to stay motivated to work out at home. And this is a really, really good question. I think it's quite easy for people who are in the fitness industry to overlook this. When you're born into it, it just kind of becomes habit, but that's not the same for everyone, okay? Now, a great sort of example, a little story I can give you for this. There is a member called Andreas, and Andreas has two kids, as he puts them, two lovely children / challenging. So when Andreas started working out in his own space, in his own time, as a suspension trainer, he saw his workouts as a form of meditation. And I know that sounds really woo-woo, right? It's like, oh, here we go, meditation. What I mean by that is when you connect with your body and you focus on the muscle, you focus on the single area you are targeting, one focus for an extended period of time is a form of meditation, right? In meditation, you focus on your breathing, or you focus on like a mantra, okay? You just keep repeating it and you try not to let your mind wander. It's the same in training, okay? When you do your workout, if you just focus on your body, focus on the muscle, the squeeze, like visualize it, place your mind inside the muscle, visualize it contracting and lengthening, okay? Try not to get distracted from this. Don't think necessarily too much about the reps. Don't think what you're having for dinner, your to-do list. Focus on your body, okay? Now, when you focus on your body and the muscles for an extended period of time within that workout, it becomes a form of meditation. And as Andreas put it, once he started to experience this and once he started to see his workouts not as like a chore, a workout that he has to do for health and fitness, but more as a time to be selfish, like a time for him, a time to like channel his inner focus, right? Lots of stress from work, lots of stress from, family life, kids, running around, right? Using your workouts, you can use them as a form of meditation to clear all that, okay? And Andreas says he finishes workouts that he gets to strengthen his body while calming his mind. And he does them on a morning and he comes out of it grounded, and it sets him up for the day to be energized and to be, as he puts it, the best that he can be for his little kids. Now, long term, how's that going to affect his family life, right? It's going to be awesome. So the most powerful way that I've come to realize, and I do this myself, to keep motivated to work out from home, is to look at these workouts as like a form of meditation for mental well-being and a form of connecting with your body, right? Like the mind, body, and soul, they're all interconnected. So I'm just going to change. There we go. The mind, body, and soul are all interconnected, right? When you get better at focusing on one area, so like your muscles, your mind and muscle connections, you build extra pathways around it and compound it over time. If you try and do this, you start to feel the benefits, and each workout becomes like a meditation session. Like I've got a little one. I wish I had time to meditate on a morning. I don't. He's one. He rules our world. He rules our life. So I use my workouts as that form of meditation to clear everything, to get rid of frustration, stress, and to come out of them finished, focused. All right. So that's a kind of possibly a long-winded answer to the question, how do I stay motivated, right? That's the best way I've found it. See it as a form of workout and see it as your own private personal time, and be selfish. Get rid of your phone, no distractions, all right? Do it for you, okay? Next question, what have we got? So, nutrition framework for lean and high energy body. All right, so this question came from, it was around the premise of, look, I'm done with diet fads. Like I've been around the block, I've done so many, I either lose a bit of weight, I gain it back on, I've tried this, that, and I always just end up back in the same place, okay? We've all been there, all right? Even as fitness coaches, we've all been there, especially when you're starting out. Now, I was chatting to this with a member yesterday, actually, to simplify it all, right? To get rid of all the overwhelm, all the BS. In fact, let me just tell you a quick story to put this in perspective. So about, how long ago was it? It was probably about 8 or 9 years ago now, maybe less, maybe 7. I was living in South America with my better half, and we both wanted to lose some weight, wanted to get lean. You know, I was like, I want to get ripped. You know, in South America, I want to be super ripped. I was like, I know how to do it. I'm a personal trainer. I know what to do. We've just got to cut our calories, exercise, and then each week we've got to cut calories more, exercise more, cut calories more, exercise more. And my better half was like, okay, I'll do it with you. So we did it, and we did it for 3 months. I kid you not, it was possibly one of the, although in South America, it was one of the worst 3 months of my life, okay? Because we shut down, God, so many hormones, we lost our sex drives, we were so grumpy and miserable. Like every day just felt like a chore, just knackered, lacking energy. But it was like, no, we've just got to do this because this is what culture says. This is how everyone says you should do it. You've got to cut your calories, you've got to exercise more. And that's how we went into it. Yes, we got lean, and I did get really ripped, but at the cost of it was not worth it. And a few months later, I rebounded back really badly because I just couldn't stop. I couldn't stop eating. I couldn't stop binging. And the ultimate premise of that was because I went into it without, my body wasn't in like a high performance body. All right. So if you think of your body like a car engine, if the car engine's a little bit worn out, right? Would you just constantly try different petrols and different oils to make it better, right? Do you think that's really going to have much of a difference? It might a little bit, but really you need to get the engine fixed for it to work well, okay? Your body's the same, all right? And that comes down to insulin sensitivity. Now, I first learned this from an international bodybuilding professional called Ben Pawlowski when I was doing a coaching program with him. Incredible. I absolutely love Ben. He's awesome. He's like the yogi bodybuilder. Ben, Frank Zane, Mike Mensa, and Alicia Gowans, they're kind of my idols that I look up to, and I love absorbing their information. So Ben taught me this, and it's how stage athletes, bodybuilders, lose weight effectively, stay lean, and all that sort of stuff. And it completely changed my view, right? So what I mean by insulin sensitivity, this is how I learned and how I understand it. It's the simplest form to explain it. When you eat, especially carbohydrates, right, this spikes insulin. Insulin are like little keys, okay? They float around your body, and those little keys go to your cells, and the key goes into the cell, okay, and it opens the door. When I say cells, your muscle cells, your functional cells, it goes in the door, unlocks the door, and it opens the door so the cell can intake the nutrient, okay? Awesome, right? The cells intake a nutrient for energy, for repair or growth, maybe from replication. Fantastic, right? That's when you have good insulin sensitivity. When you have bad insulin sensitivity, that key from eating food, the insulin spike, goes to the muscle and functional cells, and it doesn't fit in the door, right? It doesn't work because the cells have become resistant to insulin. It's how you get insulin resistance, how you get diabetes, but we're not gonna go there. We're just talking about insulin sensitivity on a scale of good to bad, all right? Now, because the food can't go into muscle and functional cells because the key doesn't work, where does it go? It goes into fat cells. It gets dumped into fat cells, right? Because fat cells, they don't suffer from insulin resistance. They have an open door. It's open all day long. And they're like sitting there screaming, saying, just give me all the food, give me everything. And your body's like, oh crap, well, I can't put it in the muscle and functional cells. I'm just gonna have to put it back in fat cells. So the worse your insulin sensitivity gets, the less the muscle and functional cells can absorb nutrients, the more it piles into fat, okay? Now, your cells, you know, they're responsible for how you burn energy, your energy levels, how you feel, how easy it is to put muscle on. They are regulators of many hormones. So it's highly important to keep, especially on muscle cells. Remember, we are 33% muscle cells, to keep them really good insulin sensitivity. Now, you might not be at the far end of the scale where you are like a pre-diabetes level, but even if you're just a little bit, your insulin sensitivity is just a little bit poor, right? You won't be absorbing and utilizing nutrients effectively when you're eating sources, okay? So the simplest framework, right? Because if we think at the bottom of the curve, at the bottom of the iceberg, that's the source, right? It's insulin sensitivity. That's the root of the tree, what makes it grow really good. As long as we've got good insulin sensitivity, everything else becomes a lot easier, okay? Lots of energy, building muscle, losing weight, because the body's functioning as it should be. Now, our focus should then be a simple framework of, right, how can I eat to keep my insulin sensitivity in a really good level? Because then my body will automatically do everything it's supposed to without interference. It'll just work like a high performance machine. It'll be a good car engine, right? It'll be highly tuned. It'll function well. The simplest way to do it is just to keep one of your meals carb free, okay? Now, for example, myself, my better half, we keep our dinner carb free. Okay, so for dinner we have fatty meats, veg, and then healthy fats. All right. Now the reason you do that is because for us that means our last meal or snack might be sort of, you know, lunchtime / 3 p.m. All right. Then from 3 p.m. all the way round to the next morning, right, until we have breakfast, that's a huge window where we're having no carbohydrates, so no insulin is getting spiked in the body, okay, so no insulin's in the blood. That means the cells have time to resensitize to it, right? The body kind of, it gets used to everything, right? It becomes resistant to everything. The more it's exposed to it, okay? The more you have caffeine, right? The more caffeine you need to stimulate, okay? Same with drugs, all right? Like, you know, this is why people get addicted to drugs, need more and more because the body gets used to it. The body gets used to everything, right? So the more insulin that's constantly in your blood spiked throughout the day, the more it gets used to it, all right? So the more resistant it becomes. So by leaving a large window, a large gap, you allow these cells to resensitize. So when you then eat carbohydrates again, your insulin sensitivity is in good condition and the body knows what to do with all the food and it puts it in the right places, all right? So to get rid of all the complication, just focus on a framework that is that. You just have one meal that doesn't have carbohydrates in. The best ones are either in the morning or in an evening, okay? And that's what I call the evergreen framework, because if you follow that and give it time and allow your body to resensitize, things just start becoming a lot easier. As long as you're eating healthy, you know, the occasional cheat meals and that sort of stuff, as long as you stay on track 80% of the time, your body will just naturally work like a high performance machine because the cells are doing what they're supposed to, okay? And you can then take that framework, all right? This is why what we teach in the platform, the evergreen lean nutrition framework, you can take that framework and you can flex it either way for like faster and quicker results. So you can flex it if you want to lose a lot of fat fast. You can then take it so only one of your meals a day has carbs and the rest of the day is all just fats and proteins, okay? And fats, proteins, veg. And that's an extreme end to take it, because then you're putting you're changing your energy pathways, so your body just relies on fats for energy, all right? It's a really good way to lose a lot of fat. Same at the other end of the extreme. If you want to pack on a lot of muscle, you want to bulk up, you can have loads of meals throughout the day, spiking carbs, because that's going to flood the muscles with nutrient, flooding the muscles. But you can only do it for like 6 or 7 weeks, because once your insulin sensitivity reduces, you need to reset. So you do like 6 or 7 weeks of high carb intake, lots of calories, good training, build muscle. Then you do like 7 to 14 days of a reset where you only have carbs once a day. So you reset your insulin sensitivity, then you go back to it. And that's called growth phases and reset phases. That's how you can like bulk and gain muscle mass without gaining fat, okay? Because you stop before you shut your body down too much. But the key place to start, and just the way to think about it, is, right, I just want to follow a simple framework. That's the simple framework. Just keep one of your meals carb free, okay? That's the best way that I've found. It's what I've taught to many people over the years, what's been successful for me and all my one-to-one clients. And it changed my life when I learned about this, and how you can flex it. And you don't then end up sort of, you know, starve, and you're not depleting your body of nutrients that it needs, because the cells, you're going into like, say, a diet well, because the cells are working as they should be. They're working good at cellular level. And that's the most important thing, right? This is why like fad diets and crash diets and all that sort of stuff are not effective long term, because they sit at the top of the iceberg. They are surface level. It's like sticking plasters on things rather than focusing on the problem, the root cause, which is at cellular level and how your body functions. And it's amazing when you just change that one little thing, right? How and you do a bit of exercise, you eat healthy, and you follow that framework, your body just naturally does it. You'll naturally just lean out. You'll naturally build muscle and lose fat at the same time, because you're giving your body windows throughout the day to do both, all right? So that's the simplest way to look at it and to think about it, and learning it from Ben Pawlowski and other professionals. Milos, I can never pronounce his name. It's like Milos Sakalovi or something. He's incredible old school bodybuilder. He was around when like Arnold was. He was a bit of a pioneer in talking about insulin sensitivity and the massive effect it has on losing weight, building muscle, longevity, health, and so, that sort of stuff. Mike Mensa as well. He picked up on it and talked a lot about it. So it's a fascinating place, and although it sounds science and complex, it's actually really simple when you boil it down to that simple framework. Just one of your meals carb free a day. Okay. All right, so next question. By the way, in the modules on the platform, the evergreen, I explain this and I show you diagrams and go into detail and show you your meals. Okay, so dive into that nutrition training if you haven't. The chest press technique. All right, so this is like, I get this question so much on like socials and everywhere. It's like I just can't feel it in my chest. What am I doing wrong? Like, what can I do? It's a really funny one, right? Because a press and motion like this, yeah, it uses lots of muscles. So if you're just doing something like this and you're just like pushing, you're pushing, and you're not thinking about it, you're just kind of going for it, right? Like just doing that, feel what's getting involved, right? Like I can feel, yeah, there's a bit of chest coming in there, front shoulders definitely, like as I'm extending my arm, triceps coming in there, biceps as I'm pulling back a bit, even a bit of the chest. Okay, so multiple muscles are taken, are used and taken a load, right? That's why you struggle to feel it in the chest in the first place. So there's a few things you can do, 2 specific things you can do to make a chest press a lot more effective, right? And it's just 2 focuses. First one is when you're going down to get a full range of motion and you're on the TRX straps, suspension trainer straps, what you want to do is as you come to the bottom, contract your shoulder blades right back, okay, like that as you're coming down, and stretch, okay? Feel it stretch, yeah? Don't it just like use your hands and go like that, because there's no stretch there, yeah? You've got to really like pull back, pull your shoulder blades back. The arms won't do it for you. You have to pull your shoulder blades back and you'll open out your chest and you'll get a great stretch there. That's what we want. We want that stretch. And as you get to the bottom, even just stay there and just like feel that stretch. Close your eyes, feel that stretch. And then as you come back up, the focus, all right, because the job of the chest muscle isn't just to push forward. It's actually more to bring your arm across your body, right? If you do that with me now and hold your chest muscle and bring your arm across your body, when you get to there, you'll feel it start to like get tenser and tenser. If I do that, like this gets really tense, my chest muscle, okay? Really, really tense. So rather than thinking about just pressing, you want to think about bringing your arms across your body. So when you're pressing up and you press up like this, how we do that is we bring our elbows together. So the focus as you press up is to try and bring your elbows together like this and try and make each elbow touch in the middle. And you'll feel like a squeeze, all right? You'll be able to really squeeze your chest at the top because I'm trying to make these elbows touch. I'm like nipping a pen between my chest muscles. And from that big squeeze, I then take it back down and I stretch, okay? So think of the exercise not just as press, right? I know it's called press, chest press, but try and think of it as a stretch and a squeeze, right? Should be called a chest and squeeze exercise, right? So you want to stretch at the bottom, like this, really stretch at the bottom, close your eyes, and contract up, squeeze the chest by bringing the elbows together, really squeeze super hard, and back, all right? That's mimicking the like real good benefit of the chest muscle. And it's why when you do flies, you get good like width and good growth because you're getting such a deep stretch and then such a powerful squeeze at the top, all right? So try that. It's not something that you'll do and suddenly be a master at it, a Jedi master. It takes practice, like all things. You just got to give yourself a bit of time, practice it, and you'll become much better at it, okay? So that's the chest press technique. Another question, final question, because I don't want to ramble on too much on these Q&As. Food or shake before a workout? This is, again, another great question. And I think a one that's overcomplicated. And if we, again, track it back to the science and the reason why we have food or don't have food. So I've tried everything for shakes. When I was younger, when I used to lift, excuse the language, but when I used to lift with my balls and not my brain, I would try every supplement possible. In fact, our university, when I was on the rugby team, I was like the little fullback, so I was fast. Used to be sponsored by Maxi Muscle. I don't know if you can remember that, Maxi Muscle. And they used to throw like supplements at us all the sort of time. And God, man, the stuff we would take, it was like, it would even taste chemically. So God knows what supplements I was taking before a workout and all the stimulants. And I've tried, you know, high carbs and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, to bring it back round, right? You don't want to have, you want to have before a workout, if it's just like half an hour before a workout, the only thing, in my opinion, and from my experience with working people, the best thing to have is just a bit of protein, like a protein shake, and if you need some energy, some easily digestible MCT oil, okay? MCT oil, because it's already broken down, so when you intake it, your body can use the fat straight away as energy. It doesn't have to sit in your gut getting broken down for ages, like olive oil would or avocado, okay? Now, the reason we don't have any carbohydrates, because it sounds counterproductive, right? Carbohydrates are easy release energy. Why wouldn't you have some easy release energy? You're better off going into a workout fasted. And what I mean by fasted is without carbs, because when you work out and you're in a bit of a fasted state, your body releases fat burning and muscle building hormones more optimally. So like testosterone, human growth hormone, it releases them much better. And the reason it can release them more optimally and much better is because those hormones they are inhibited by insulin. So if your body's got insulin floating around, if it's in your blood, it will inhibit the testosterone and human growth hormone and drop it down. And those are two powerful hormones for fat burning and muscle building. The levels will get reduced. Now, where does insulin come from? It comes from eating carbohydrates, okay? So if you're spiking carbohydrates before, you've got raised insulin in the body, the fat burning and muscle growth hormones can't work as effectively, they don't stay in your body as optimally. So that's why it's better to not have something before your workout. If you're going to eat like 3 or 4 hours before. So especially if you're having carbs, so the insulin can die down. Then when you go into the workout, you are fueled and you are in an optimal. Your body's in a primed place for that hormones to be released, the fat burning, muscle building ones. The reason you can have protein and some easy digestible fats. You might be asking, like, well, why doesn't it be easy digestible fats? Why can't I have just normal fats, already fatty meal? If you then eat carbohydrates after a workout, which is the best time to eat them because your muscles are more insulin sensitive after a workout because they've been trained, you've got a large amount of blood flow going to the muscle areas. The carbohydrate, because insulin's the number one growth hormone because it opens all the doors, floods your muscle cells with what they need to grow and repair, protein, carbs. So that's the best time to eat carbs. If you spike carbs when you've got fat sitting in your gut digestion, that fat will get stored straight away rather than sit and slowly digest for energy, all right? Insulin is a growth and a storage hormone. It's the reason why it's the number one growth hormone, because it stores everything, it puts it in places, all right? So that's why you want easily digestible, so it can digest fast, give you the energy, and it's not sitting in your gut after you work out when the insulin's spiked. Okay, so that's the best way to look at pre-workout. Now, for an example, what I have if it's like 30 minutes before, I'll have some just a protein shake. I normally work out in the morning. I'll have a protein shake, a bit of MCT, digestible stuff, and then I might have a little sip of mate. That's mate. If you don't know mate, that's a gourd. That's you drink it through a straw because it's kind of like I don't know if you can see there, but it's a bit like green tea, but it's a herb and it's from Argentina. I got addicted to it when I was living in Buenos Aires. It's so good. It's like rather than a brain stimulant like caffeine, it gives you a nervous system stimulant, like it energizes your body. You can get it off, for England anyway, we have to get it off Amazon to get it delivered. So only a few places do it. Messi, and it swears by it. You know why Messi's such a good football player? Because he drinks so much mate. So yes, that's all I'd have before a workout, and then after the workout, I'd have loads of carbs and protein to flood my muscle cells with it. And you'll probably find as well you feel more alert and you train better without carbohydrates present. You kind of tend to feel a bit sluggish if you train after a big meal of like carbs and stuff like that. So my advice to you is always to try and train fasted. And when I say fasted, without carbohydrates and at least with some time for the meal to have digested beforehand, all right? And if during a workout, if you want to get a bit more advanced, as you're sipping water through your workout, you can add some just electrolytes, salts, a bit of Himalayan salt, and some essential amino acid powder, just a little scoop of that. Again, it's just because you're taking advantage of the blood flow to the muscle areas. And again, you're just feeding them what they need. They need water, rehydration, they need amino acids, and then you can, after the workout, you can feed them the carbs. And that's another point actually why you have carbohydrates after a workout. So when you work out and you train on the body, cortisol is released. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and it's catabolic. It means it breaks stuff down, all right? And the reason it's released is because you've broken muscle down. You've caused a stress on the body. Now, the cool thing is, right, so you train fasted, you spike testosterone, human growth hormone, okay? Then as you're training, the more you train, more cortisol gets released, and cortisol inhibits the testosterone and human growth hormone and starts to bring them down. But what inhibits cortisol is also carbohydrates. So carbohydrates reduce cortisol and get rid of the stress hormone as well. So it can then make the human growth hormone and the testosterone work more optimally throughout your body. So it's kind of like a cool little sort of step-by-step system. Each bit layers on the right bit, so you get the most from your training and from the nutrition afterwards. All right. So yeah, I think that's kind of it for those 4 questions. Sorry. So that was how to stay motivated. See your workouts, a meditative workout. Focus on your mind-muscle connection, all right? Be selfish. Get rid of your phone. Get rid of distractions. If the kids are hassling you, just say no. You know, dad or mum just needs 30, 40 minutes, my own time. Shut the door. Get your Spencer trainer hung up. If you want, yes, listen to some music. I listen to Spanish lessons, or I listen to Andrea Bocelli. Because if I listen to anything that's too pumped up, I can't focus on the muscle. I can't like meditate. Because I see the workout as meditation, for me, like hardcore rock and roll or dance or trance doesn't get me fired up. It works the opposite way. I like to like have focus and zen when I work out, so I can really focus. So yeah, see your workouts as a form of meditation. Then you'll be like, oh man, I'm not working out. I get to meditate, all right? You get double benefit. Calm your mind while strengthening your body. The second one was the how to eat. You're sick of diet fads. I just want an evergreen. I just want a framework that I can follow for life to be lean, healthy, for longevity. It's that. It's just focus on keeping your insulin sensitivity optimized, right? Focus on keeping it really, really good, because it sits at the bottom, the foundation, where and it's how your cells absorb stuff in a simple form, all right? The complexities of everything it does and how it works and stuff are massive. Even, you know, they're beyond my little brain. But from what I've learned from coaching professionals who are at the top elite levels, it's the one thing, the biggest lever you can pull to make your life a lot easier for longevity, building muscle, losing fat, okay? Chest press technique, stretch, squeeze, boom, done, sorted. And food before or after, food or shake before workout, again, just no carbs, simple stuff, the protein, easy digestible fats, and then after your workout, that's a good time to have your carbs. You don't have to have your carbs after a workout if it doesn't work for your goal focus, or the way you're eating, if you're resetting, all that sort of stuff. But if you are going to have them, it is a good time, okay? Just little attention to details, but they amount up to be a big difference. All right, awesome. I think in some parts of America, the world, it's coming up to a holiday. If you are in America, awesome. Hope you have a wicked holiday. I believe it's around Black Friday, the holiday happens. England, it's not here. It is, actually it's sunny, surprisingly, for the first time. I'm looking out the window. It's normally been grey, icy and raining. So yeah, we haven't got any holidays coming up until Christmas time. Okay guys, all the best with your training. Stay healthy, and I'll see you next time.